So give me a minute. I'm taking time to clear the energy here. Alright. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome to Starseed Direct. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Just so you know, we may have some other people joining us, or this may also be used later as evidence because it will be getting submitted. So we're just going to pull on the facts here. And I'm going to go into detail about what's going on here. This may also be related to another investigation, which is why I'm feeling the need to record it so that we're crossing off all our T's and dotting our I's here. Absolutely. Let me loop that. All right. I don't go live too often on my channel, so forgive me. Okay. What we're pulling on is a backfired ritual is what we're pulling on. Okay? That happened this evening, July 7th, 2025. The reason why I say it's ritualistic is because this has been one of a plethora of attempts on my life. My name is Delilah Madanna Lewis. Most people know me by my pseudo pen name, which is Madanna Divine, but I am also a small American business owner, and I've been in business for over a decade. Started my business in 2011, completely not related to spirituality at all. I am a brand consultant. Okay. I'm also a digital designer and a lot of other things. But more importantly, I am a mother. A damn good one at that. Of 2 boys. And I'm trying to establish to my children why it's important to pay it forward and always stand up for what is right. Okay, now I would like to believe there's other people in the world who see justice as, the right thing to do. Okay, so that's why we're going to go ahead and pull on this so that we're all on the same page here. By the power of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, please protect my energy as I divinate this message. Please cover whoever may come across this video as well. If they decide to jump in, it doesn't matter. I'm not taking any requests at this time. I'm going to be just reading on my situation and what happened this evening and possibly giving some feedback of other evidence that I've already turned in to the county police department. The sheriff's department. I've already filed a request with the FBI, and that file was started several years ago. I have been filing reports since before I even relocated here. So this is not a single situation where I don't think it may be linked to people outside of this area or that multiple people are involved. Hence the reason why I am making this live right now. I do not usually go live on my channel, but my channel has been systematically targeted to nerf my reach or silence me. Okay, for those that are aware of the law, there are penal codes as well as anti-slap laws against people trying to systematically abuse whistleblowers. Now, in my line of work on the spiritual side, I also, get intuitive nudges of things, whether that's tipping off in regards to crimes in my area, the state, or anywhere in the United States, or right here in my backyard of Berkeley County, West Virginia. Okay. And it's important that upon me moving here, I was under the understanding that this is a family-oriented place. We care about the community. I am an upstanding individual in my community, and I help everyone around me. Not just the other patrons who live here, not other families only, but organizations, the government, law enforcement. I play my part on a day-to-day basis to be an upstanding individual and help as many people as I can, while also working on myself. So yes, I don't know if this is targeted in regards to something locally, maybe me helping lock someone up or someone getting busted, or this is something more sinister. But we're going to go ahead and start from the top. Earlier this summer, I want to say last month, okay, maybe not even a couple of weeks ago, someone had vandalized my car. Is this the first time that's happened? No. But I went to my property manager. I went to the police department to file a vandalism report. And to my understanding, that was everything I needed to do. Why am I including the FBI in this? Is because there is a laundry list of other things that have occurred up until this point that I feel the need to link to my situation. Okay? I've been being targeted for a very, very long time, way before I became a mother, but it has ramped up quite a bit since becoming so. After my divorce, which I was awarded full custody for my children, it has gotten worse. Now, I don't know if it's a collaborative effort of my ex-husband, family members, community people, but there's definitely a community cover-up going on here. And like they would tell you in any investigative situation, follow the money and you'll find the culprit. Okay? Anyway, tonight I was traveling in the Hedgesville area with my sons. And all of a sudden, I wasn't on the highway. Something told me to just take the streetway, right? Right around sunset, my rim and my tire goes flying off my car. Now, I had just gotten a lot of work done on my car. I also got new tires from the first vandalism accident, and my brother is a witness to that. I also have all the receipts showing the labor, the work, everything that was done on it. And I even had them check it to make sure that the tires were secure on the vehicle. So there was no reason for me to believe that there was any issue with the car because I've been driving the car around all week. Well, this evening, my rim goes flying off of my vehicle. Now, I was in a suburban area, so the speed limit wasn't fast. I also was on a windy road, so I already wasn't going the speed limit. I was kind of cruising. But the minute I felt something happen, I immediately coasted to the closest area out of the way of traffic to investigate what exactly happened. I thought at first maybe I blew the tire. But when I got out of my vehicle, I realized that the rim was completely gone. Okay? So I called a very nice stranger, patron, pulled up in a Model 3 and decided to assist me in looking and assessing the situation. He offered to change the tire, but the rim was missing. And then he made the investigative notion to point out the fact that the bearings or the rings where the lug nuts would sit to hold the rim in place were gone, as well as all the lug nuts. Okay, so then I call my brother while I wait for a tow truck to come. And my brother shows up. Now, mind you, he's already aware of the systematic targeting and vandalism that's been going on. I don't know if it's everyone in the area or just this neighborhood that I live in, but I've already communicated to property management that I would like to request a lease transfer to move out of this area closer to where my brother lives because they have a sister property over there. People, with nicer vehicles live over there. I'm a single mother, 2 kids, and I rely on being able to get around because we live a little further out, and public transportation is not reliable in this area. So I make it a point to keep up with my things, and I don't ask for a lot from anybody. I'm the one usually helping everyone around me. Now, it has been brought to my attention that I may live in the vicinity of some very envious people. I can't say I'm an egotistical person. I could say that I may be inspiring to a lot of people. I am an influencer as well, but my claim to, I guess, fame, if you would have it, isn't influencing. I've been in the industry as a production assistant, as, content editor. I also have guest wrote for a lot of different publications as a content writer. I have made a very long lasting establishment in my career working behind the scenes on the production front as far as the industry is concerned, and I'm just now in the later last few years getting, expanding to the front of the camera, basically is what I'm trying to say. But for whatever reason, there is someone, I don't know if they live here or they're collaborating with people in the community that have targeted me and my family in regards to what is going on here. Okay? So we're going to go into detail about that here. This is obviously someone with a little bit of grip because, well, it has been brought to my attention that they know quite a few people as far as these platforms and everything else that's going on. Hold on one second. Okay. I was just making sure that that wasn't the towing company. I also want to take a moment to shout out is it Blue Gray Towing Company out of Hagerstown, Maryland. Thank you so much for your service this evening. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. Extremely professional in assisting me in my emergency situation. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to pull on this sacrifice ritual backfired. There's quite a few people in the YouTube community, other content creators trying to compete. There's also people in the physical community that are involved. Okay, let's take it a step back. I went to the tire shop to get the original vandalism taken care of. And when I pulled up, I said, hey, I maybe ran over something because I know they're doing construction. This guy says, I've been changing tires for 20 years, ma'am. Somebody screwed those things into your car. And I'm like, really? You think so? He said, I can tell just from how they placed it and where it's at. Someone definitely screwed that into your car. You did not run over nothing. You did not run over that in the road. Okay. And this has happened to me before leaving the Tennessee area. This has happened to me. Now, mind you, upon me relocating to West Virginia and me getting full custody of my kids, I made it very clear to the state that I did not want my ex-husband having my address. But because of laws and child support enforcement, for them to go after him, they had to list my address on the documents or whatever. Anyway, he knows where I live, even though he has filed several court cases outside of the state claiming he doesn't know where I live. Okay, we're all over the place right now, but let's just stick to the vandalism at this point. Today, my brother comes to my aid to pick me and the boys up, and he goes, let's go look for the rim, right? So My nephew also arrives with him. We safely get the kids off the shoulder of the road and put them into my brother's vehicle with my nephew, who is a young adult, so that he can sit with them while we go in the brush and go look for the tire that flew off the car. Well, we do end up locating it. I got all of this on camera footage as well as photos, to show that the tire was still in new condition from when we got it from the tire shop, not even a little over a week ago, and that there was no damage done to the rim. So when he rolled it back up to the trunk of my vehicle, he noticed that all the lug nuts were missing. He also made it a point to point out that there was lug nuts missing out of the driver's side rim as well. And he made it a point to encourage me to speak about what's going on, because after going to the police department in my area by myself and filing several complaints with the IC3, the FBI, nothing has been done about this situation. Nobody has contacted me to further investigate, nothing. So I will be making a copy of this live, as well as the photos, the receipts of all the repairs I've had to do, as well as my conversation that was sent in writing to the property management company, as well as the copy of the police reports from my local police department. And I will be putting all this together and sending copies to everyone who was tagged in the link share this evening. That means Governor Morrissey is going to get a copy. Okay? I've already introduced myself to your secretary, and you should have that via private email or physical certified mail. I also will be sending a copy to the senator's office, Mr. Justice. I also will be not only providing this additional evidence with the local law enforcement at the sheriff's department, but I also will be forwarding this to my closest FBI field office, which, if I'm not mistaken, is in Winchester, Virginia. So once I get my car back up and running, I will be heading right over there to give them a copy to update my case file with them. Now that I've said all that, we're going to pull. I have the crime deck here. I have some cue cards here. And we're just going to see what comes out, right? Because I have given several examples of evidence, both on my channel as well as literally, physically, to all of these departments. Okay? I want to make that aware that I, Delilah M. Lewis, am very thorough with my investigations of other crimes in my community. So I don't know why people would even have the audacity to think that I wouldn't be doubling down and standing 10 toes down on business regarding my own investigation. Now, there's another issue I would like to bring up to whoever ends up watching this, whether you're not catching the live now, or you're going to catch it later on the replay. There's definitely some kind of situation here regarding insurance fraud or something. Something's going on regarding using people's personal information. I've also been a repeat victim of identity theft. Okay. And up until, I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago, I only had reason to believe that the only people that would have access to my social security number, my birth certificates, and any other personal identifying information would be the government, other than my ex-husband and my birth parents. But my apartment was broken into in Mississippi, and I filed a police report there. The reason why this backstory is important, it's gonna make sense to you in a minute why I have reason to believe there are multiple communities and people involved. It's systematic. I filed the police report. I took down the people's badge numbers. There was forced entry on my door, and credit cards, Social security cards, birth certificates, all kinds of things went missing out of my home. They didn't steal any electronics. They didn't steal anything but my personal identity information. Upon relocating to West Virginia and switching over my registration, my license, my ID, everything to West Virginia, this happened again, except they stole it out of the property manager's office, the leasing office of where I live. That's important, okay? And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But let's go back to the first situation. Shortly after me trying to follow up with the Northern Mississippi Police Department, the entire precinct resigned. And I kept asking, have they followed up on my investigation yet? X, Y, and Z. Well, towards the end of that happening, right before that happened, the officer that was ahead of my investigation was no longer ahead of it. Then I physically went up to the police department and asked for a copy of the report, and they said they couldn't find the report, so they tried to bury the report. They couldn't find it in the system. They had to dig in the back of the file cabinet to find the original report that was written down by the responding officer that came that night to my house. Someone had buried it in the computer system at the police station. Okay? This is before moving here. Shortly after, I made a complaint to the sheriff about handling my report. The entire precinct resigned. The entire precinct, including the sheriff, resigned. Mysteriously, everybody got fired or were forced to quit. Now, let's fast track to relocating here. I haven't really had too many instances of like prejudiceness or anything blatantly to my face, other than during campaign season when I had volunteered to use my platform to promote, my following as well as local demographics that maybe weren't as interested in politics, to encourage them, to remind them and encourage them why it's important to vote and care about the issues. It didn't matter who they voted for. My objective was to get people to the polls. Now, November of 2024, and there is no desire nor need to exaggerate, was the largest turnout at the voting polls ever in this county, ever. I was hitting the campaign trail every day with flyers. I was knocking on people's doors. Now, some of those doors, I got greeted with shotguns and was called a nigger to my face and was asked to get off their porch. Okay, sir. Well, I'm just here to remind you that the polls are going to be opening soon. Make sure you vote for whichever candidate you want to. Here's some leaflet information on the candidates, and have a blessed day. There's also been certain situations where I maybe been called outside my name during traffic. But other than that, I really haven't had any issue as far as Berkeley County is concerned with racism. At least not blatantly to my face. Now, I don't know if this is racially motivated. I don't know if this is just people envious of the fact that, I'm a child of God. I don't know if this is religious affiliated. I can't really pinpoint why anyone would hate me. Unless it's criminally motivated and someone intends on making money off of me not living anymore. Okay? So let's get into it. Sacrifice ritual backfired. Upon me realizing that lug nuts were screwed off of my vehicle this evening, it prompted me to go live. Why? Because it's important for me to share my story and make people aware that when you are doing real light work, these kind of things happen. Now, I don't know if it's someone high profile that is orchestrating all this, or maybe it's not that serious. I don't know, but there's a whole lot of criminal activity that people have systematically done for me to believe it's a coincidence, for me to believe it's any other reason than someone paid them to get involved. Because for me to move to an entirely new state and to be now having the same kind of issues happening, somebody paid somebody to get involved. The entire community is covering this up also. Yes, they are. The entire community is covering it up. I've been on YouTube since quarantine. 2020 is when I started my channel. It's not because people aren't watching my content, aren't getting edified by my content. It's not because law enforcement, people that work for the government aren't inspired, aren't edified by my content. I've helped solve cold cases. I've helped find missing children. I have been an active public servant for my country on several different fronts for several different industries. Not just the government, but the science community, the entertainment industry. I literally do my best to give the best that I got to whoever needs help, however I can help them. Whether I got a little or a lot, it don't matter. Because I move when God tell me to move. And tonight, God said, okay, when you get home, I don't care if they try to shadow ban your live, like they've been shadow banning all my videos. I don't care what they try to do. You better get your butt up on that live. And you better tag all of your local public and state public representatives, because whether they watch now or watch later, they're gonna watch. And just in case YouTube tries to take it down, I am live streaming and recording it on my desktop at the same time, because I'm going to be putting it on a flash drive and sending it to the Attorney General. All right, let's go. Why is somebody trying to kill me and my children, or harm me and my children, or make me and my children's lives difficult? Okay, it was nice to even do this right now. We got a crime oracle deck here that we're going to pull out of. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right. Let's try to get some leads here. You got spouse partner. I am not currently in a relationship. I am legally divorced. I've been legally divorced since May of 2021. I am not currently dating anybody. I am celibate. I am abstaining from sex, actually. And I have been celibate for 6 years. Will be in October, 6 years. I've been focused on honing my skills, showing up for my kids, showing up for my community, and that's literally what I dedicate every waking moment of my life to. And also taking good care of myself. Trying to lead a high vibrational, healthy life. So, you have spouse partner here. I have no other reason than to believe that's my ex-husband. Or this could be somebody else's spouse or partner. But you got spouse partner coming out. Let's see. Sacrifice ritual backfired. Spouse partner, Holy Spirit. You have cult. So somebody's spouse or partner is involved with a cult. This is what's coming up in this systematic targeting. Okay? Now, cult doesn't have to be Luciferian. It could be any group of people. But I have reason to believe, because I have family members that are in certain societies or fraternities or any kind of group, that they hold and, stand up to the vows and the oaths that they take to carry on the mission and what it's really about. But not every chapter operates the same. So we're not going to assume here, for out of the matter of respect and due diligence, we're going to read what's on the card. A cult. Some kind of ritualistic group of people that somebody's partner is involved in. Now, keep in mind, I, Delilah M. Lewis, am not in a cult. I am neither in a relationship, nor am I married. Not common law marriage, not anything. Ain't nobody in my house but me and my kids. You have intuition. So, somebody's partner is involved in a cult. And you know this now. Somebody's partner is involved in a cult. Okay? And they're systematically trying to attack me and my children. And I don't mean like, it would be different if it's hazing, but for the nature of the things that they're trying to do to make it look like an accident. Now, mind you, I've had food and drinks tested for poison. I've had people break into my property, like not just my vehicle, but inside my house, which is why I installed security cameras. I have already made complaints with the property manager on several occasions. I have the email conversations to prove it. On top of all of my personal information disappearing out of my file in the office. And when I asked the property manager, the only people that have access to the office is the maintenance team and the property management. So I'm not sure how me and my son's personal identifying information went missing out of their file, but they were very nonchalant about it and told me I had nothing to worry about. Now, mind you, upon me being a responsible adult and trying to work on myself, I recently have been very adamant about working on my credit. So I went to a local nonprofit organization called Telemon, where they pull your credit for free and give you like credit repair consulting. And I sat down with the supervisor over there, I want to say a year ago. And all of these mysterious things were popping up on my credit that I knew I wasn't responsible for. And I did let her know at the time that my identity had been stolen prior to relocating here. Okay. As far as that's, I'm assuming that's what that was about. But there was recent things that were on there as well that there's no possible way could be tied to me because, well, I just didn't live those places or I didn't open those accounts. Well, she advised me to call all those places and investigate to find out why it was popping up on my credit report. So one of the addresses that were popping up on my credit report was a P.O. box in Virginia. And I'm like, I don't have any P.O. boxes in Virginia. Anyway, I called the post office in Virginia, which they told me at that time they couldn't go into detail. I had to run around. I was hours and hours and hours waiting on the phone until the postmaster called me back and told me that the mailbox was shut down because it was involved in a federal investigation, which is why I tagged the FBI director, Mr. Patel, because the P.O. box was flagged for fraudulent activity in regards to a federal investigation. Like the feds were already investigating this P.O. box before I even knew it was on my credit report. And I said, okay, but my name is tied to it. So how do I go about getting security camera footage? Because I have family members that are retired postal workers. And I know that there's cameras in your establishment in the case of an emergency or something happens. Do I need to file a police report to request camera footage on who opened this P.O. box? So maybe I can get an ID on this person? Was an ID provided upon them opening the box? The postal worker tells me I can't tell you all that, or the postmaster tells me he can't tell me any of that information. Then he murmured some kind of something that sounded esoteric, like Latin. And then he said, you need to check closer to home, and hung up the phone. Okay? P.O. box. Never lived in that area of Virginia ever. Nor do I travel there. Don't know why it was showing up on my credit. And I was more alarmed to find out through my own investigating privately that it was tied to a federal investigation. Okay. Anyway, there are several other things that were listed that I basically had to verify and use credit letters and prove that I wasn't even living in that state when this account was open, X, Y, and Z. Okay. But out of all the things that I disputed on my credit report, that one stuck out the most. Why? Because it was the most recent and it was here in Virginia before I even knew it was going, like before I even started working on my credit, this box was opened like 6 months before me moving into this place that I live now. Okay. Anyway, the postal worker was being very mysterious and elusive. He wasn't really giving you any information, which he then proceeded to tell me, I know it's something esoteric because I've heard it before. Now, mind you, my dad is a Freemason. So I've been around those kind of things. I also grew up around the entertainment industry. So I've seen some things in my life. I've endured some things in my life. For me to wholeheartedly believe that this is not coincidence. Okay? 1 second. Okay. You got intuition, you got cult, you got spouse and partner. Somebody's partner is involved in a cult. I don't know which one it is. Okay. But mind you, this is a trick that I know for a fact my ex-husband is well versed in because my biological father taught him how to run around using the justice system to get your way in court without having to really fight anybody by messing with the subpoena or them being served or X, Y, and Z. So recently, I did a public record search in these states, and there are several records coming up, court records, that involve my name that I had no idea about, which I'm going to have to do a follow-up on that investigation as well, but I want to go ahead and make note of that on this reading right now, on this live, because it's going to be something that I eventually want to add to the investigation. If you want to assign someone to it, that's fine. If not, I'll do the legwork myself. That's not a problem. Okay? Because I'm going to find copies of whatever these hearings were that I was not even present for, nor did I even know what was going on. And I will be adding them to my case file. Homicide. Intuition is getting clarified by homicide. So someone intuitively knows that there's some variation of this sacrifice ritual that someone intended to end in a death or possibly 3 deaths. Since me and my 2 sons were in my vehicle. This is the second attempt at trying to harm my vehicle unsuspiciously to make something look like an accident. Okay? Whatever these people are doing, they don't want to just flat out drive by and pull a blicky out. They want to try to make something look like an accident so they're not implicated in the crime. Okay, with cult being here, there's definitely a group of people who are aware of what's going on. And if they knew what was going on and did nothing to stop it, I also have reason to believe that there's a neighbor involved as well. Why this neighbor would get involved or even do this when they probably have their own family, I don't know. Money. I live around a lot of impoverished people. I mean, we're in West Virginia, but out of all the counties I could live in, this is one of the better ones. At least that's what my brother told me when he suggested I move out here. It's a safe place. It's a great place to raise your family. You know, success lives here. It's not, the outdoors are beautiful, and it is. I love nature. I love the outdoors. I love the fact that the community is great. But there's some dynamic, maybe a subsector of the community, that is not so great. There's definitely a neighbor in this immediate community where I reside that is owned and managed by Arbor Management. It is a property management company based out of Delaware, and they have several properties, not just in Delaware, but also New Jersey. They also have properties all over West Virginia. And I've also made it a point to contact corporate in Delaware regarding my situation. And I have yet to get a response back from them as well. Let's go, Holy Spirit. Homicide. There could be an earth sign woman involved, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn involved. You have blackmail coming out in the energy. They will do anything for money or power. I don't know if this person's spouse is involved in this cult, or this earth sign woman is involved in this cult. There's something about energy that's significant too, because my headphones just went off. Hold on one second. Now, mind you, nobody was harmed. However, okay, we got fake IDs, passports, visas, records, contracts, bank records. Earth sign woman is getting clarified by they're doing fraud. You also have a neighbor involved. Okay. I don't know why that's coming out. But you got fraudulent activity going on in the neighborhood. You also have specifically an earth sign woman who's involved here. Somebody's father or a father figure is also involved. Now, I don't know if this is my biological father, but to place this situation in the way that it is, to my knowledge, my father isn't in a cult, but who knows? He doesn't live in America. He lives in Dubai. But he is a Freemason. So I'm not going to disrespect Freemasonry and throw the baby out with the bathwater, because I've met a lot of very upstanding, high vibrational Freemasons. I've broke bread with Freemasons. I've had very collegiate Freemasons as classmates. I have seen very high vibrational Freemasons do community outreach and help other people literally in the trenches with me. I don't think it's all Freemasons. Maybe just a handful that may be involved in this. I don't know. We're going to keep pulling. Let me get one on your neighbor did it, Holy Spirit. Missing communication. This could be missing mail. Missing letters. Something about something missing here. Somebody could have reported someone missing. What is this? What is missing letter? A missing letter. You got the devil and you got meeting. Okay. So I don't know if this was some kind of meeting of a cult, some kind of communication in regards to a cult. A bald man may be significant. I don't know, but someone is definitely going to be going to prison here. Possibly multiple people. Let me get something on this ritual backfiring. I'm now pulling out of the Urban Tarot. The devil could also represent a Capricorn energy. Okay, you did have female earth sign woman come out. Maybe that earth sign woman is a Capricorn. I don't know though. I'm not really sure. Doesn't have to be. Or this person could be communicating on this. I don't know. You got the devil, the meeting, and missing, and imprisonment. Futility, Seven of Swords. Somebody could be lying. There's something deceptive in this energy here, or someone is obsessed with being deceptive or lying about the validity of what they're about, what they're involved with, or who they're involved with, and how deep the rabbit goes here regarding some kind of ritualistic abuse. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did say the community was involved. There's an earth sign woman involved. Something about the desert or something about something being hot. You got gain in the Ace of Cups. Because somebody felt some type of way about someone being independent or loving myself or focusing on my health. I don't know. Somebody was very adamant about trying to lower my vibration or do something bullish. Okay? Could be dealing with a Taurus. I don't know. Got earth sign woman here. Got earth sign woman. Whoever these individuals are that worked with this cult, they were definitely exerting a level of cruelty here. They could be worried now that I'm speaking out about it. They should be. They should be. Somebody may feel some type of way that even with them flagging this YouTube video live right now, whether they are fellow content creators or people in the community, it doesn't matter. I'm recording for a reason. Not only so people could watch later and know that they're about to get implicated in a crime, but also so that other people can see what happens under the success iceberg, excuse me, right? Everybody thinks it's so easy. They don't see all the hard work, the dedication, the mishaps, people targeting you. They don't see none of the stuff that happens underneath the iceberg in the water. They only see the shiny top of the iceberg where you're getting rewards and accolades and fame or recognition. They only see that. They don't see all the hard work you put in. They don't see all the sacrifices you have to make. And I don't mean physically sacrificing people. I mean, instead of going out and partying and having fun and being on BS. You actually staying on 10 toes down on business. You actually saying and doing what you claim to be about. Being a real thoroughbred person. Somebody's envy and deceit went too far. Okay? Somebody's family is also involved, as well as an earth sign woman. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay? I want the investigators to be made clear of that. So if anybody's been making false reports and it's coming from either of these people, make note of that, because I will be making my rounds to everyone I tagged and giving a copy of all the evidence I have thus far, and also making it a point personally to hand deliver all the evidence to the Attorney General's office so that we can get this court case rolling. Because I definitely intend to press charges whether the state picks it up or not. I definitely intend on pressing charges whether the state picks it up or not. All right? You know, I had a lot of people tell me that me and my children were safe. But the only time I ever felt confident in that is when I got on my knees and prayed to God. And God gave me the confirmation that I always was going to be taken care of no matter what these people try to do. Now, I'm not concerned about my vehicle. My vehicle is giving me a lot of miles, a lot of time, a lot of great moments with my kids, a lot of trips, family trips, a lot of moments where we, pulled off the road and enjoyed nature. I'm not so much concerned about that car. That's my around town car. I don't take that car out of town. I take a different car out of town. Okay? But if nothing's going to be done while I have that sitting outside my apartment, I damn sure don't want to park my brand new car in this neighborhood, because I already got enough people in my community doing some salty, evil eye, envious ass shit that I'll be damned if I park my brand new car in this neighborhood. This is why something needs to be done about it. This is why something needs to be done about it. This person that loosened up my lug nuts on my vehicle was dressed all in black. And they know they're going to jail for what they did. Why they would let their envy get to this point, I don't know. Why they don't think I would go to law enforcement and tag government officials so everybody could see how snaky you are. I don't know. I don't know why this person thought that they would even get away with it. But someone was very adamant about trying to harm me and my children for money. Well, I sure do hope whatever that amount of money was, it was worth it, because you're going to need to spend it on an attorney to represent you, because you're going to jail. Okay? And anyone that was involved in covering it up is also going to be implicated in trying to plot to harm me and my innocent boys. Yeah. Absolutely. My sons didn't do anything to deserve this, honey. Not from no family members, not from nobody. Okay? My family didn't deserve that. Not at all. They're going to jail for what they did, because somebody is probably already under investigation for taking hits to kill people. I don't know. But they're done. They're done, baby. You gonna let jealousy get to the point where you're gonna sit in jail? I'm not even driving around a new car, people. I'm driving around a 2008 minivan. What reason do you have to be jealous? I'm not understanding. And even my brother tonight, he was like, you know what? If I were you, I wouldn't even park. I would not even park my new nothing in there. What you need to do is you need to follow up with the FBI. You need to follow up with the police department. You need to follow up with all of these people in place that we voted for them to sit there, and they need to do something about it. And if they don't do anything about it, then you take it above them, which is why I tagged Mr. Patel. I tagged the president. I will tag whoever the hell I gotta tag. And everybody will get a copy so they can't act like they did it. Okay? Somebody's defense is going to be, they made me do it. Who? Who made you do it? Who made you do it? Now, we ain't going to sit up here and be all willy-nilly and act like some bippity bop did this. Okay? This ain't no spell work. You was dressed all in black and you went to go loosen somebody's lug nuts off their car. That's attempted murder. That's also vandalism. I mean, do we really have to look up the penal codes right now? Because somebody is going to prison for their jealousy getting out of control. Okay? It's out of control at this point. Ain't no candle magic doing that, baby. You physically out here touching people's property. Okay? If this was anybody else, listen. Let somebody try to go loosen up the lug nuts on a government official's car. You don't think you're going to be rotting in prison forever? Honey, it's going to be treated just as that. It's going to be treated just as that. Let somebody try to go to the governor's mansion right now and try to go loosen up the lug nuts on on Governor Morrissey's car. You don't think he's going to be making sure he do his due diligence and finding out who was dressed all in black, messing with his rims? Oh, honey, best believe that. Let that happen. Let somebody try to do some real sus, crooked ass shit with Mr. Justice's airplane that he flies into D.C. to make it to the Senate building. You don't think he's not going to be behind that? Oh, honey, he going to be looking all through that. So why do people think I'm not going to do my due diligence in making sure you go to jail? Oh, you best believe you going to jail. And anyone that helped you cover it up, you best believe it. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. I don't hear none of that. I want you to rot in prison for even having the motherfucking audacity. I call divine judgment. I call physical judgment. There's definitely going to be a judgment in this situation. Okay? Definitely. Definitely. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care who you're in allegiance with. And listen, I don't want to accuse whichever affiliation or group this is. I really don't think it's the Freemasons. I don't think this chapter of Freemasons would even involve themselves in such frivolous type activities when I help Freemasons all over the world. I just was hanging out with Freemasons in Florida a couple of weeks ago. I'm not concerned, nor do I have beef with Freemasonry. No, I do not. However, if any of these cultish people are involved, you might, whoever is your mentor, or how those rank things go, second degree, third degree, whatever degree the person above you is, or whoever is ahead of this local chapter, they may have to sit you down and get into your ass because you making the chapter look bad. Now, if we was to go to overseas where this all started, right? Because it works like corporate. If your chapter fucking up, then I'll just go to who's above you. I've done it before, and I will do it again, baby. Okay? Because seemingly, people think single mother Multiracial, 2 kids. Oh, easy target. No, I'm not your average multiracial single mother, 2 kids. No, I'm not. Not by far. Not by far. The reason why those kids was returned, whether I got recognition for it or not, the reason why those black foster kids got rescued by those white supremacist foster parents, whether I got recognition or not, what about all the drug trafficking that got shut down through the panhandle, whether I got recognition or not, keeping you and your children safe? I didn't ask any of these families when I invited you out to the community events that I put together. Didn't ask nobody to pay nothing. I just invited you out like you were my own family, because I generally like helping people when I can. Do I deserve this? No, I don't deserve this. My children don't deserve this. Really, nobody deserves it, because I'm not exalting myself over anyone. I'm a child of God, just like several other people are a child of God. We're all here enjoying a human experience all together. Wrong is wrong. Okay? This is definitely money motivated, or this is somebody envious of your independence. Maybe because they systematically were trying to work very hard to take that away from you. Because somebody feels some type of way about the fact that you can do this. You want to be jealous because I decided to work hard and provide for my children? That I 48 laws of power, that I refuse the free lunch? No. Right? I may not have a whole lot, but I'm not afraid to roll up my sleeves and work hard for my family. Even after I got no alimony in the divorce, instead I got debt. I got people running around with my social security number, running up shit in other states. I got people stealing child support checks. It's like, something got to give here. And I said, you know what? Even after all that, that's fine. I'll just start all over, and I'll build on something that I know they can't take away. My dignity, my integrity, my love for humankind, for my children, for what I do for a living. Can't take that away. They felt some type of way about that, though. They felt some type of way about how many people were supporting you. Even with this video being shadow banned right now, that's not going to take away from these people punishment, baby. Okay? It's not because I don't have support. I have a lot of support. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. Okay? That's the real reason why I haven't been on my YouTube channel. Not because I'm not getting downloads. I get downloads every day, all day. There ain't nothing wrong with my third eye. They paid someone at YouTube. They've been siphoning off views off of my channel every month and putting them on other people's channels. Lil Wayne just dropped an album where he's talking about it in one of his songs. So I know I'm not crazy. Okay? Lil Wayne was just talking about it in one of his songs that he just dropped on June 6th, which was last month. A whole last month ago now, where he outs these people. Because you got people in the industry, you have people in prominent places who know this is happening to me. Meanwhile, the people that are actually doing it are thinking, oh, none's the wiser. No one's ever gonna know it's us. Everybody is watching you. Everyone knows it's you. Everyone knows it's you. Let me get one. They're going to jail for what they did, Holy Spirit. They know they are too. Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So now you have a water sign, you have an earth sign, and you have a father figure involved. Okay? This could be somebody's mother or a mother figure. If this ain't your biological mother, this is someone who thinks that they have control over your life like they are your mother. I only have one biological mother. None of my dad's girlfriends, none of my dad's concubines, none of my dad's mistresses have ever been a mother to my eyes. My mother is not an earth sign either. My mother is a fire sign. So I don't know who this earth sign woman thinks she is. Yeah. You got water in reverse. Mm-hmm. You got social media. So something about social media is significant. There could be something drying up. You have alive and you have affair. Okay, so there's something about a water sign or a water in reverse. What is this in regards to this live here? What's going on here with this? Okay, this person's spooked out to say the least. There's something going on here with this. I don't know what's going on with this, child. Hold on one second. I just changed my password. I had to change all my passwords. Okay. Which I don't know what that was about. But somebody is very adamant about just being on some demonic stuff here. I don't know if this person is like something's mentally unstable with this person or they're just moving out of jealousy. I don't know, but they fitting to pay for all these damages. I know that. There's something that they're trying to delay or stop from happening, which is why they're doing this. Absolutely. For sure. Okay. So let's start looking up penal code, shall we? Oh yeah, we gonna get surgical with this. I got the time. I'm home now. I also want to thank my boss for always looking out for me and my kids, right? Because Apollo said so. Guess what? Now, mind you, before I got up, right, to head out today, I had a dream that I was driving off a car dealership lot with a brand new car. So I know I wasn't going to die today. I don't know why other people thought I was going to die today. It definitely wasn't happening. But I know I got a new car in my future and a new home. As much as people listen, they hating on what I got now, they really gonna be fucking gagging in a minute. It's just wicked. Wicked. Now these people could be taking L's. And I'm not a salty person, right? I'm not somebody that's gonna pull on their misfortunes. People don't realize that, you know, you can't say your spell work or your energy manipulation is successful if you physically have to come to someone's property and mess with it. No, that makes you a criminal. That doesn't make you a wizard or a witch or whatever. That makes you a criminal. I need you to understand that. Okay? All right. West Virginia Penal Codes. In West Virginia, and this is straight out of West Virginia legislator.gov. In West Virginia, if someone intentionally attempts to kill you and tries to make it appear as an accident, they can face serious criminal charges related to attempted murder and potentially other offenses. Malicious or unlawful assault. West Virginia Code 61-2-9 addresses assault with intent to kill or cause serious bodily harm. Maliciously injuring someone with this intent is a felony, with a potential prison sentence of 2 to 10 years. If done unlawfully, but without malice, it is also a felony, but with a lesser potential sentence. Okay. So we have that. Okay. In this section of West Virginia Penal Code, in regards to Chapter 61, if you want to follow me on that, we'll go ahead and read entirely. All this may or may not include. We'll start at 61-9, malicious and unlawful assault, battery, or penalties that may be involved with the variations of this matter. If any person maliciously shoots, stabs, cuts, wounds any person, or by any means intends to harm him or her bodily injury with the intent to maim, disfigure, disable, or kill he or she, except where it is otherwise provided, is guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof shall be punished by confinement in a state correctional facility not less than 2 or more than 10 years. If the act is done unlawfully, with prejudice, but not maliciously, with the intent aforesaid, the offender is still guilty of a felony. Upon conviction, shall be imprisoned in a state correctional facility for up to 5 years, or be confined in jail not exceeding 12 months and fined not exceeding $500. B. Assault. Any person who unlawfully attempts to commit a violent injury to a person of another or unlawfully commits an act that places another in a reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving violent injury is guilty of a misdemeanor, and upon conviction thereof shall be confined in jail for not more than 6 months or fined not more than $100, or both fined and confined. Just a successful side tangent. I might want to sit with the senator and see how maybe this law may be too lenient. Absolutely. Maybe perhaps some West Virginia legislator needs to be, maybe we need to go to the West Virginia Capitol Okay? And sit down with some of these lawmakers here, because this is like very lenient. Any person convicted of a violation of subsection of this section who has, in the 10 years prior to the conviction, been convicted of a violation of either subsection of this section where the victim was a current or former spouse, current or former sexual or intimate partner, a person with whom the defendant has a child in common, a person with whom the defendant cohabits or has cohabited, a parent or guardian, or the defendant's child or ward at the time of the offense, or convicted of a violation of Section 28 of this article, or has served a period of pre-trial diversion for an alleged violation of subsections in this section 28 of this article, when the victim has a present or past relationship upon conviction, is subject to the penalties set forth in Section 28 of this article for a second, third, or subsequent criminal act of domestic violence offense as appropriate. So if this is motivated by a family member who has abused you before, an ex-husband or ex-partner of any kind, this is considered domestic violence with the intent to murder someone. Multiply by 3 because my children were in the car. That means you attempted to murder me and 2 minors twice this summer. Shall I keep going? Somebody's father figures on this. If this isn't my biological father, this is somebody's father figure. Is it the father of my children? I don't know. We're going to keep going here. And people wonder why I said I don't want to work anything out with this person. This person has gone online to try to twist the narrative here and claim that I'm keeping them away from their kids. No. The judge decided upon the divorce that I get full custody of the kids, and you need to arrange visitation with me, which they have had visitation with their father when it was arranged through me, and it was in a public setting, supervised. Yes, because I have witnessed this person being extremely violent to other people as well as violent to me, and he was violent to me in front of my children, 2 minors. Okay, so if someone that you were romantically related to or someone that domestically violated you in the past is involved, that's going to be more than enough motive to send this person to prison. Okay, shall we continue? Let's continue. West Virginia Code, Chapter 61, Crimes and Their Punishment, 6129A, Stalking, Harassment, Penalties and Definitions. Stalking, any person who engages in a course of conduct directed at another person with the intent to cause the other person to fear for his or her personal safety, the safety of others, or suffer substantial emotional distress, or causes a third person to so act, is guilty of a misdemeanor and upon conviction thereof shall be fined not more than $1,000, confined in jail for not more than 6 months, or both fined and confined. B. Harassment. Any person who harasses or repeatedly makes credible threats against another person is guilty of a misdemeanor and upon conviction thereof shall be confined in jail for not more than 6 months, or fined not more than $1,000, or both fined and confined. C. Notwithstanding any provision of this code to the contrary, any person who violates the provisions of subsection A or B of this section in violation of an order entered by a circuit court, magistrate court, or family court judge, in effect and entered pursuant to Penal Code 48-5-5-501, 48-5-601, or 48-27-403 of this code, is guilty of a misdemeanor and upon conviction thereof shall be confined in jail for not less than 90 days nor more than 1 year, or fined not less than $2,000 no more than $5,000, or both fined and confined. D, a second or subsequent conviction of a violation of subsection A or B of this section is a felony, punishable by imprisonment in a state correctional facility for less than 1 year, no more than 5 years, or fine not less than 3,000, no more than 10,000, or both fined and imprisoned. So it gradually gets worse for whoever is involved in doing this repeatedly. Notwithstanding any provision of this code to the contrary, any person against whom a protective order is in effect, I just would like to interject for a moment that there is a DV clause in my lease through Arbor Management because of the domestic violence that I had to prove to the leasing agent upon me getting the leased here to get an apartment that protects me against any of these penal codes. All of these penal codes are listed in that agreement, which was also mysteriously missing out of my file. But I got a copy and re-signed it when I renewed my lease and gave them new copies of my driver's license, my children's identification information, as well as our birth certificates. I sure did. And I said, make sure you give me a copy of this whole file, just in case things go mysteriously missing again. Okay? So basically what that clause states is because for this reason, I have reason to believe that if I am harassed or my property is vandalized in any kind of way while being on the property, all I have to do is call the sheriff's department, show them my DV clause for my lease, and they will immediately get arrested and escorted off the property for trespassing and harassment. So, do I need to go to the courthouse for a PPO? No, because I have one in my lease already. They're not even allowed on this property. But if you pay someone who lives on the property already to do it, because I live around, a lot of people that are struggling to pay their rent and make ends meet. Do you see why this is important? There's multiple people involved. Let's continue. Anyone who harasses or stalks another person with the intent to cause a person to physically injure himself or herself, or to take his or her own life, or who continues to harass or stalk another person, knowing or having reason to know that the person is likely to physically injure himself or herself, or to take his or her own life base. This is stuff on suicide. Someone could have even said you were suicidal. No, they're trying to make someone look suicidal, baby. I'm not suicidal. I love my life. I love my children. I love my career. I don't have any reason to want to take my own life. Never will I ever do that, ever in my life. Okay? So, I don't know if somebody was trying to cause you so much stress to the point where, you would just end up doing it yourself. I don't know, but okay? Harassment or stalking is guilty of a felony. Upon conviction, shall be imprisoned in a state correctional facility for a determinate sentence of not less than 2 years, no more than 10 years. Okay? For the purpose of this section, West Virginia Penal Code, bodily injury means substantial physical pain, illness, or any impairment of physical condition. Course of conduct means a pattern of conduct composed of 2 or more acts in which a defendant directly, indirectly, or through a third party, okay, so even if you hired or threw a couple of dollars to someone in the community to do it, you're still going to prison. I want you to know that. If this earth sign woman or somebody daddy or whoever paid someone in this community to do it, you are still going to prison. Okay, you must not look up West Virginia Penal Code then. Okay. A pattern of conduct composed of 2 or more acts in which a defendant directly, indirectly, or through a third party by any action, method, device, or means follows, monitors, observes, surveils, or threatens a specific person or persons, engages in other non-consensual contact and or communications, including contact through electronic communication with a specific person or persons, or interferes with or damages a person's property, A credible threat means a threat of bodily injury made with the apparent ability to carry out the threat and with the result that a reasonable person would believe that the threat could be carried out. Harasses means a willful course of conduct directed at a specific person or persons which would cause a reasonable person mental injury or emotional distress. Let's pause there for a second, because if you're causing minor children emotional distress, if you're wondering why your children don't want to get on the phone with you, this is the kind of reasons why. Because they've seen what you said about their mother. They have talked to you themselves and have gotten upset on the phone by you threatening bodily harm to them on the phone conversation. Oh, you can't take a joke? We don't joke like that in this house. You can't joke about physically harming your children and expect them want to be enthused about getting on the phone with you. Harasses means a willful course of conduct directed at a specific person or persons which would cause a reasonable person mental injury or emotional distress and which serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Immediate family means a spouse, a parent, a step-parent, a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, a child, a stepchild, a sibling, or any person who regularly resides in the household or within the prior 6 months regularly resided in the household. And 6, repeatedly, means 2 or more occasions. That means if you put family members up to it, if you put sister-in-laws up to it, if you put other people's parents up to it, hell, if it's people in my family up to it, you are all implicated in the crime and can be facing penal code violations in the state of West Virginia. It doesn't matter if you physically weren't here to do it. If you hired someone else to do it, you and that person are going to jail. Any person convicted under the provisions of this section who is granted probation or for whom execution of imposition of a sentence or incarceration is suspended shall have a condition of probation or suspension of sentence that he or she participate in counseling or medical treatment as directed by the court. Nothing in this section may be construed to preclude a sentencing court from exercising its power to impose home confinement with electronic monitoring as an alternative sentence. Okay, the Governor's Committee on Crime, Delinquency, and Correction, after consultation with representatives of labor, licensed domestic violence programs, and rape crisis centers, which meet the standards of the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information and Services, is authorized to promulgate legislative rules and emergency rules pursuant to Penal Code, West Virginia Penal Code 29A-3-1, etc., sequence of this code, establishing appropriate standards for the enforcement of this section by state, county, and municipal law enforcement officers and agencies. Okay? So we're going to pause. We're going to leave that up for a second, just so people know what they're dealing with, because apparently people think if you pay someone to go try to off somebody for you, that you're not going to jail. Oh, you most absolutely are. You most absolutely are. It don't matter if you weren't the one that turned the lug nuts, baby. None of that matters. I don't know what this affair is. What is this? 6 of Cups. Somebody could be having an affair. This is somebody either in your family or an ex, something. Somebody's having an affair here with somebody. I don't know how that's relative. I'm not having any affairs because I'm not having sex with anybody. Okay? And I feel the need to say this. If you're gone all the time, then the person that's trying to possibly get you in a compromising position to maybe have sexy time forced on you, because we can't say certain things like grape on YouTube Live, right? We'll say this, that Of course, they wouldn't want you having the ability to rush out your house in an emergency situation and hop in your car and leave and possibly go to the police station or call 911. No, they don't want that possible. They want to get you in a compromising position so that they can carry out the next part of their plot here. I just would like to make it aware also that I have not one thing on my record. I'm eligible for government security clearance, and I'm not on house arrest. I can move wherever I want to. If I want to go to the airport with my kids tomorrow and skedaddle, I sure could, because I can move freely. There ain't no restrictions on me traveling anywhere, except for the ones these envious ass people want to keep trying to inflict on me. And anyone that turned the other cheek and had information about what was going on or thought they were going to get a cut of some kind of insurance payout, honey, y'all all going to jail. Y'all all going to jail. Somebody's dad is in on it here. I don't know what pleasure and affair is. Okay. I don't know what the hell that's about. Why that's even coming up here. They could have exchanged sex for vandalism here. Someone thinks that they're going to be able to heal the situation or heal the betrayal through physical intimacy. No, you just tried to kill me and my kids. Why would I want to sleep with you? Someone is like, you're dealing with someone who is like, cuckoo, someone who ain't thinking with a full head of marbles here. Okay? Or maybe someone, I don't know why that's coming out. You got a couple here. Maybe this is a couple that are both sex offenders. I don't know. You got a couple here that wants to heal some kind of betrayal. I don't know what this has to do with trying to sacrifice me. You got fake death. So somebody faked their death here. Somebody faked their death? 1 second, collective. I'm just checking on you. I'm still on live. Okay, I'm just checking on you. Turn the air on, puppy. What? I think there's like a spider. So what? Turn the air on. There's no way it's a big one. That's not that big, and it's flat. Okay, just turn the air on. Sorry, my kids were showing me a spider. Okay, along came a spider, something about a spider. Okay, spider is also the weaver of fate. Someone could be dealing with Neith or some kind of African magic. Okay, I know there's quite a few people that deal with African voodoo or whatever, witchcraft, I don't know. Accomplice, partner in crime. So somebody of African descent is definitely involved. This earth sign woman could be of African descent, was involved in trying to betray you. Now they're trying to heal some kind of situation. Okay, I don't know why. They're not gonna be able to heal nothing. So they could try to turn around and come in as the saviors when you tried to attempt to murder me and my children. No. How I feel the situation should be rectified and how you feel the situation should be rectified is two very different outcomes. Okay? Because we're not even pulling on the fact that you already stole thousands of, I don't even know if it's at millions at this point. You have stole so much money. Not just from me. You have stole tons of money from several people committing fraud all over the world. If I were you, I wouldn't be trying to even bother doing that. Just know that, exactly. Just know that your ass is about to go to jail. Just know that. Okay? You're going to prison. I don't want to hear about none of that. Okay? There's a couple who faked their death here for money or to get away from going to jail. Okay? Something like that is also going on here. Okay? This earth sign woman could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You got blackmail here. They'll do anything for money or power. Somebody's definitely having an affair. Confirmation. Somebody's definitely having an affair. Absolutely. Okay? It ain't me, though, because I ain't having sex with anybody. Okay? And just so we're clear, we're going to start from the rear of this read and re-clarify. Okay? Because that's usually what you do when you're investigating a case. You have a group of people, okay, that tried to hurt, harm, and harass a single mother with 2 kids. Okay? They tried to make something look like an accident just so you can miss out on some kind of communication. There's also a neighbor involved. You also have fraud, fake IDs, passports, visas, records, contracts, bank records involved. There's something fraudulent going on here. You also have fake deaths. So this has reason for me to believe that there are fraudulent death certificates going around, something like that. Okay, this was definitely an assassination attempt. Okay, on 3 innocent people's lives. All right, sacrifice ritual backfired. Let's run it again. Okay, now mind you, if you don't catch this live, it's going to be on replay right up until I move forward with my case, right? Because it doesn't matter whether you want to watch it or not. It's getting forwarded to law enforcement. So, and it's going to be used as evidence in my case. Okay. So, unless the entire precinct in West Virginia, in this county, is going to resign, just like in Mississippi, I don't see that happening. I don't see the senator or the governor stepping down from office. I don't see Mr. Bertel stepping down from his director position at the FBI. I don't foresee any of those things happening. So something's going to happen. Because if mum's the word all the way across all those distinct individuals, well, then we have a bigger problem now, don't we? Yeah, we got a bigger problem now, don't we? Sacrifice ritual backfired, Holy Spirit. Let's run it from the top. We got a neighbor in on it. There's a group of people in on it. These people are doing fraud. Okay? Absolutely. There's definitely somebody doing fraud. For sure. For sure. Definitely. All of that's backfiring. Okay? You may have some intel regarding a robbery, or you know that they stole from you, or they know that you're about to find out that they stole something. Or they could be stealing your views, like I said, which people in the industry have already said that they were doing this. Yes, they did. Okay, they got some kind of fraud going on at YouTube as well, which I've already made several reports to that too. This is systematic abuse, gatekeeping, or whatever you want to call it. This is also some variation of slap laws. Okay, if we're trying to target a whistleblower. Okay, but me whistleblowing has also helped several people, including the president. So, you want to be the pot or the kettle today? Okay. Let's go. We got robbery, sacrifice ritual backfired, your neighbor did it, fake IDs, passports, visas, records, contracts, bank records, they doing fraud. You have caregiver coming out. This person could be a caregiver, or this person has a caregiver, or somebody is taking extra care of what you got going on. Or maybe somebody wanted to volunteer to be your caregiver in the event that you ended up in an accident or possibly a wheelchair. This is what somebody was wishing on you, collective. Or this person, this neighbor, is either in a wheelchair or they take care of someone who's in a wheelchair. Whichever neighbor is involved in trying to murder you and your children. Mm-hmm. Yep. You got intuition here. You know this. You know this already. Intuition. This person took this bid to try to do this to you out of ego. Out of ego. This is what this person wanted to do to you. You got an earth sign woman here. You also have somebody's father or a father figure involved. Could be your child's father. Could be your biological father. It's somebody's father. Okay? They knew that the only way they were going to be able to steal whatever this is that they did fraudulently from you was to assume the role of caregiver for you. But they can't be caregiver for you if you're not in a wheelchair. They can't be caregiver for you if you're not handicapped. They can't be caregiver for you if you walking around independently doing what you do. No, because these people thought, oh, I know, we're not going to get caught for stealing from Delilah if we injure her up enough to where we can legally still take this money. Yo, somebody is in some deep shit right now. Confirmation. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Somebody is in some deep shit right now because they want to get away from doing fraud with you and your children's information. So their bright idea was, let me involve someone in the community to vandalize their car to make it look like an accident. Oh, because if we do that, then we can legitimately become their caregiver and keep the money we've been getting fraudulently. Somebody is going to prison, bro. Attempted murder is only part of what you about to get. Attempted murder is only part of what you about to get. Okay? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Intuition, caregiver, and egotism. Fake IDs, passports, visas. Yeah. Because somewhere in one of these states, they already declared you dead. They used fraud, fake IDs, passports, visas, contracts, bank records to already declare you dead so that they can take some money here or keep taking some money. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tunnel. This could definitely be an air sign involved. You have water, air, and earth come out. Mm-hmm. Somebody knows you're alive too, and that's why they're hiding you. Because they think they already got away with sacrificing you by sacrificing you on paper. These people are already making money off of falsely claiming that you were dead already. Okay? And you know this. You know that they're trying to sacrifice you in real life now so they could get away with committing the fraud of pretending to kill you. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. They had full intentions on trying to assassinate you. But you're not trapped, are you? No, Delilah is not trapped. Delilah's not trapped. Now they're stuck like Chuck because you're not trapped. As a matter of fact, I'll be back on the road maybe by the earliest Tuesday if I gotta wait for extra parts. You ain't stopped nothing. All you did was cause yourself some bigger problems now. Because now it's on public record. I'm also gonna, let me go ahead and screenshot my timeline. So if any of these people try to act like they didn't see it, this is gonna be further evidence for the justice system that people are trying to act like they don't see my messages, or further proof that there's very powerful people involved in this ritualistic abuse, and they don't want to be tied to that. No, they want to be reelected. They don't want to be tied to that. They gonna act like they see that. Absolutely. They gonna act like they see that. Oh, yes, they are. Let me go ahead and screen cap that. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is this bitch? Oh, that's an ad. That's an ad. Okay, because I was like, why is that coming up on my thing? Okay, let me not interested. Not interested. Not at all. Let me screen cap the fact that I tagged the FBI director, the president, my state senator, the Berkeley County Sheriff Department, the Attorney General for West Virginia, the city police department, and the governor in this post right now. Okay? Let me go ahead and screen cap that. Let me also screen cap the time and date that I sent it. That's the only way to do anything legitimate these days. All right? Let me pull up the digital keyboard here. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. It doesn't matter if you try to nerf me on YouTube. I also tagged YouTube. I sure did. And these people that I tagged definitely saw the fact that I tagged them. So you cannot act like you did not see it. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Mm-mm. No, you cannot. Yep, we live right now, baby. What are you talking about? We live right now. Okay, let's get the timestamp in there. 11:51, July 6th. Let me timestamp that. Let's save it in the screenshots folder. Let me also screenshot for the Justice Department all of the public servant people that I tagged. Yep. So can nobody act like they didn't get it. Nah, they can't act like that. Because guess what? If they want to act like they ain't see it, then they're going to be implicated as a suspect. I don't care who they are. Okay? Okay, let's get refocused back in on what we got going on here. We got fake IDs, passports, visas, records, contracts, bank records. They're doing fraud. You have some kind of caregiver here that wants to get away with this fraudulent ass money they got going on. You got robbery here. You got robbery. Somebody did this out of ego because they wanted you in some kind of compromising situation. Okay? They want to start some beef with you. Well, I hope this person doesn't have kids because they're not going to be with their kids for much longer. Their ass is going to prison. I hope they know that. They could have even been paid by a bald white man to stay quiet about what was going on. A bald white man, which I also have that on my Ring camera, showed up in a truck and passed out. And my neighbor across the street, what is her name? I'll itemize all that. She was outside watching this bald white man go to number 4 in building 42, which is the neighbors I've already been having issues with. He passed them a letter. He also passed the lady across the street a letter. Okay? Now, I recognize this Caucasian bald white man. Yes, I do. Yes, I do recognize him. And I am very, very certain he knows who I am. Now, I don't know if they were compensated to stay quiet about something, but all of that's about to blow up in their face. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You got the strength card. Strength card. Why is the strength card coming back out? Why is the strength card coming out, Holy Spirit? Okay? Because everybody pays rent around here. Everybody has to get along. And if they're causing problems, to innocent people that they live around, guess what? You can get evicted for that. Do you know that you can get evicted for tampering with people's property? It don't matter who paid you. If you are purposely trying to start mess with people in the neighborhood, I'm not talking about not liking someone. I'm talking about dressing in all black, coming out of your house in the middle of the night and tampering with people's tires. Messing with people's cars. Tapping on people's windows. You can most definitely go to jail for that, and you can get evicted off the property. I don't play that. I don't play that. I don't care who you are. I don't want to hear no sob story. Something gonna be done about it. Okay, good. Well, there's going to be an officer in the room while we hash out the evidence then. I'm glad you're going to be by the station tomorrow because I'm going to be by the station tomorrow too, bitch. I want you to know that. I want you to know that on the spot, while you're trying to lie, I'll be bringing up camera footage from my security camera of you actually going near my car. I sure will. I sure will. So, try to come up with another lie. Try to come up with another lie. Because I got you on camera. Huh? I got you on camera. I also got you on camera doing some other things also. And we just going to leave it at that. Okay? We just going to leave it at that. Somebody got a shopping addiction here. Spending up somebody's fake ass money. Or, I'm sorry. Somebody has a shopping addiction, spending up some stolen money here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Somebody did all this to keep up with their shopping addiction. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because they can't afford whatever it is that they want otherwise. They don't have a job. They're on welfare. They don't have a job. So how are you ordering takeout every night? How are you ordering pizzas? How are you doing any of the things you're doing? You must be doing something. You don't have a job. You don't have a job. Okay, let's go, Holy Spirit. Outranked. Outranked here. And really, even if you were reluctant to cough up your own Ring camera security footage, it wouldn't matter, because all it takes is getting a government request by either a judge or the FBI or any of these places, and they can contact the Ring company and get your footage without your consent. So I don't have anything to hide, baby. You could take all of that shit and still see it. I bet you're gonna be by the station tomorrow. But so will I be by the station tomorrow. Sure will. I'll have someone from the precinct come pick me and my kids up and get chauffeured there. I don't have to spend a dime because I'm a public servant of Berkeley County, West Virginia. I help everyone around me. I also help the fucking president of the United States. I help the FBI. I help people all over this mug. Huh? Okay. Listen, anybody who was involved in this, whether you're someone in the community or someone with a position, you may be losing that shit looking the other way on this, because it's about to get rowdy around here. We about to rise up. Okay? They don't call it the land of the wild and free for nothing. We influencers in the wild, baby. And just like I can help take down a whole trafficking regime in the panhandle, don't think I can't take down a couple of scallywags and crooked ass fools in my neighborhood. I sure can. I absolutely can. Child's play. I don't want to spend no time with nobody that's crooked. No, I don't. I don't know why you're wondering when I have free time, because I am not trying to spend time with you. Okay, somebody gang affiliated is also in this energy. Somebody gang affiliated is also in this energy. I don't know if this is someone who's involved in doing this or someone that's going to end up watching this. Okay, this could be a celebrity. And you see, right? You see how they're nerfing the video. Okay. So you want to act like you don't see it? That's fine. The judge is going to see it. The police are going to see it. And everybody's getting a copy of it, whether they catch it now or not. Somebody's grandparent is involved. Let's see. Both of my mom's grandparents are dead. My dad's parents are dead too. So this must be somebody on my ex-husband's side. I'm trying to think whose grandparent that is. Somebody grandparent is involved in this situation. Unless it's my kids' grandparents. Somebody's grandparent was greedy. What's fake IDs, passports, visas, records, contracts, bank records, Holy Spirit? Assassination. Could be assassination of character. What is this? Robbery? This could have been money they stole. They could have bought a boat with it. So somebody stole some money from you, doing some kind of fraudulent stuff regarding faking a death. They could have been on a boat with this person, or they could have used fraudulent stuff to then purchase a boat. Okay? That you could have a boat in your name that you don't even know about. Yeah. Jealousy. Okay? Somebody robbed you of your money out of jealousy. And then on top of it, you were like, okay, well, while the case is casing, right? While they're investigating, at least you're hoping they're investigating into it, you said, okay, fine. I'm just going to go hustle up some more money and handle my business and move forward with my career, get my kids ready for the new school year, focus on books and clothes and shoes, because I don't get no help from their father. I don't get no help from none of my family. When it comes to my bills, when it comes to making sure my kids have what they need, no, I am all my children can rely on. They can't rely on anyone else around here because they didn't want you shining your light. They didn't want you being the darling, twinkling star you are. Somebody feels some type of way. Oh no, I'm going to make sure that if it doesn't kill you, at least you can't get to your auditions. I know your kids have a very important audition coming up. Let me fuck with your shit. So that means you jealous of kids too. Because you're not just jealous of me, you jealous of my children. And then you got to be a real special individual to be jealous of somebody, a minor. Something wrong with you, baby. Something wrong with you. But you want to try to say someone else crazy? No, yo ass crazy. You crazy. Something wrong with you. Okay. Strength card. Strength card, Holy Spirit. Justice. You got strength card and justice. The letter R may be significant. Somebody is jealous. They robbed you of your money. They also did some kind of fraud with your information. Something about a caregiver. Okay, they're definitely doing some kind of fraud here. Absolutely. There's definitely something fraudulent going on in this neighborhood. Because me and my son's personal information was stolen out of the office. Okay? And when I asked the property manager, she was like, oh, well, let me call my manager and say something. Because to be honest with you, Delilah, I have no clue why this stuff is missing out of your file. That is very suspicious. That's the word of the night, suspicious. That's the same thing my brother said when he saw that all the lug nuts were unscrewed out of my fucking rims of my car. And I just got new tires where I literally saw them zip, zip onto my car. So that means somebody took a couple of lug nuts out. That's what they decided to do. Possibly somebody that was stalking me. Aggravated stalking. Somebody that was stalking me decided to remove lug nuts off of my car. Let's see. The only other place I stopped where I wasn't in my vehicle was at the gas station. So for law enforcement or whoever is going to be in charge of investigating this further, I can give you the locations of all the gas stations I stopped at today, because I tried to, for some reason, something told me to stay at the same places that I usually go, or close by the same places I usually go. Aggravated stalking, Holy Spirit. Tekashi 69 may also be significant. Didn't he just get indicted? 7 of Swords. I'm trying to think of who's that just got in trouble. That would even, I don't know. I don't know, but somebody high profile is involved in what's happening here in West Virginia, for sure. Somebody high profile is involved in this shit. Somebody high profile is involved. And don't tell me and my children are safe when motherfuckers is unscrewing lug nuts off my car. No, I am not safe until I get the fuck out of this neighborhood, until I have a vehicle that I can safely park outside my house as a goddamn tax-paying American and not have my shit tampered with. No, I don't care what you're going to try to tell me. Because I call cap. And I will be making sure that all those government officials that I tagged is going to get a copy of this. They're also going to get a copy of all the videos, the photos. My brother already agreed to writing and notarizing an affidavit. Listen. Well, I don't give a fuck what lies you said. I got people of right and sound mind that vouch for me that will have no problem turning in a testimony to prove that you people are done. You people are done. You got the leasing agent coming up here. Let's talk about that since that wanted to come out. Let's talk about that. Leasing agent. Why is the leasing agent coming out, Holy Spirit? You got greed here. Why is the leasing agent coming out, Holy Spirit? You got accomplice. You got greed and accomplice here coming out over the leasing agent. So the leasing agent definitely needs to be called in for questioning. I would even request that the judge, or if the attorney general, I'm talking to several people in this clip, in this live right now, because all of those people I tagged are getting a copy of it, as well as all the evidence and the receipts I have been collecting. Okay? So I don't know if the attorney general could have the justice system request that the leasing agent take a lie detector test, because I have reason to believe she isn't going to be completely honest about the role she played in whatever this is going on out of greed, and you have accomplice partner in crime. Okay? I don't know what that's about. You got 7 of Swords, you got leasing agent, you got greed, you got partner in crime. You got robbery, you got money, you got sacrifice here, you got fake death, you got aggravated stalking, you got gang affiliated, you got caregiver here. You got a lot going on here. You got a neighbor who was in on it. Okay? There's security surveillance showing that this is going on. Now, if the leasing agent's role in it was to cover up the security cameras on the properties, watching this person move in and out of around people's property, then yeah, the leasing agent is an accomplice because you're helping cover up a crime. And as a property manager, you shouldn't be doing that. I don't care if somebody paid you to cover it up. Or perhaps you got something else going on, which is why you would be willing to do that. Perhaps because you got something else going on that you're trying to hide. Okay? There was a pickup truck parked in the manager's spot when my brother's car pulled into the neighborhood tonight. She didn't know it was me because I wasn't showing up in my car. Mm-hmm. Oh, we live, baby. We live. What we got to edit? We live, and we gonna be live for however long it takes. It don't matter. It don't matter how many times you flag this video, baby. I keep telling you, it's gonna get downloaded, and we're recording it, we're screen capping it on my computer right now. It don't matter. We're live streaming. We're smart around here. We know how to walk and chew bubblegum, bitches. Come on. Listen, people think that you not smart, but you a lot smarter than people give you the credit for. And that's why your ass need to work for the fucking FBI, but that's a different situation. We're not going to go into that. Okay? Okay. Right? Pretty soon here, I'm going to have my license official to be a private investigator for the state of West Virginia. So you mean to tell me that you gonna play me for a fool and think that you wasn't ever gonna get caught up? Oh, yes, you are gonna get caught up. Because this is coming out. Somebody thought that they was gonna be able to get away with all this fraudulent ass shit they've been doing. Mm-hmm. Somebody knows that somebody is definitely going to jail because I'm doing this live right now. It doesn't matter how many people you get to group flag the video. It doesn't matter if you contact YouTube right now and tell them shadow ban the video. It does not matter. You got other people thinking, or maybe they're involved or maybe they're not involved, that I don't have support. No, you're shadow banning my views. Because when I pull up my studio right now, I got thousands of views, and we're already at the beginning of the month. We know you full of shit, okay? We know you got a good old boy or a good old girl working at YouTube, and they're probably getting a cut of your systematic abuse too. It don't matter. It don't matter. Okay? I don't have to do illegitimate things for money. I don't. Okay? So you can just stop. I'm a content creator. I'm also a business owner of my own brand consulting company for going on 20 years. I have worked in several industries on several avenues. I have helped people domestically here at home as an American. I have also traveled abroad and helped other countries. I have brought electricity to villages that didn't even have running water or food. I have built all kinds of things all over the world with my energy, my effort. Sure, other people could have gotten in or helped with the project, but it was my mind over matter that made that happen, that brought awareness to it, that tapped on people, to ask people to get involved. So no, you won't ever be able to son and daughter me. You won't ever be able to treat me like I'm nobody. Everybody got a nice little cushy ass check during COVID, didn't they? Who do you think helped make that happen? Yeah, we gonna tell the truth here. People think, oh, well, how are you able to do all these things? How are you this and that? No, because people know I've been helping them behind the scenes for a minute. For a minute. Y'all just want to keep that shit quiet, though. This shit about to get blown wide the fuck up. That shit finna get blown the fuck up. Meanwhile, I wouldn't dare park my brand new shiny vehicle anywhere near this neighborhood, right? While the leasing manager was operating out of greed and being an accomplice in crime, right? But the leasing manager's driving around in a brand new car, don't even got tags on it yet. And I know the job that she has can't afford that car. Okay. But you want to look the other way when people fucking with my shit. No. We about to blow this shit wide the fuck up. Oh, yes, we are. And I'm going to be making sure a copy of this flash drive. I got plenty of flash drives, baby. Flash drives ain't expensive. Huh? If I got to send flash drives of everything, certified mail, to each of these individuals, as well as corporate, Arbor Management's corporate office, certified mail. That means they can't reroute it. They can't do none of that. They got to send it. And if they don't, then you could tack on mail fraud on top of that. If you like. Yes, you can. I mean, that's already an issue for some of these people. That's already an issue for some of these people. Taking people's mail, getting paid to lie, getting paid to steal, getting paid to do all kinds of stuff to people here. Yeah? But nah, keep that same energy. Because if you got paid to lie, then I hope you enjoyed whatever money you got paid. Because now you're going to fry for it. Now you're going to fry for it. For looking the other way. For treating me like just any old regular schmegler hood booger. Because you definitely had me pegged wrong. You definitely had me pegged wrong. And really, if I wanted to, I could do your job way better than you. But we're not going to go there. Nah, we're not going to go there. We don't have to. Because I don't get paid to do your job. And this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Because I'm growing very tired of having to do everyone else's job and not even get paid nothing. It's like, why do y'all even have these jobs? You're not doing them. Why even have them? If I got to do your job for you, the least you could do is tip you, girl. But instead, you want to steal. I didn't even ask for the award or the accolade, nothing. I didn't ask for all that. I'm a humble servant. I do what God tells me to do. And if you're getting in the way of me doing what God tells me to do, then expect to receive divine judgment. Respect to go to prison. Respect for me on the public platform. Doesn't matter if you shadow ban it or not. Because you're going to have to answer to me in a court of law in front of a judge. And if you try to buy the judge off, then it'll go to the Supreme Court. We can go right up to the damn Capitol Hill if you want. However far you want to take it, baby. I'm a ram. I am an Aries. I don't get tired. So if you want to overlook me going, hey, I respect your public position, I'm going to go to my local representatives. Oh, you don't want to help me? Okay, well then I'm going to go to my state representatives. Oh, you don't want to help me either? Then I'm going to go to the person above you. And so on and so forth. Because let me tell you something. If it has to go to Supreme Court, it will. Just know that. If it has to go to Supreme Court, it will. So, tomorrow, when I go to the police station, you better come ready to work. You were telling the truth the entire time. Oh, I know I was. But there's a lot of sneaky type stuff going on around here that people think that by assisting me in getting my justice, it's going to implicate them in some other things they got going on, which is probably why they were able to buy the leasing agent off. I don't know. You got something real fraudulent ass going on here. I don't know if her manager knows about it. I don't know if they're both in on it. I don't know. I have no clue. Okay? I don't know how deep the corruption goes. But just looking at the reviews of this property management company online, Well, I don't know. There's a lot going on here. All right. You got property manager. You were telling the truth the entire time. Let's see. Property manager. Somebody could be trying to switch up now because they know that you implicated them, or you know the truth about some situation that's going on here. Okay. Agreed. Accomplice, partner in crime. The letter R may be significant. Okay. Out of that group of people I tagged, I don't know which one. Hopefully more than one. Somebody appreciates my public service because they already know what I be out here doing. It was only until recent that I realized, after studying criminal justice, that maybe this is a real passion of mine. Because, you know, I've already had people try to block me from being a legitimate psychic. Maybe I can use my gifts in a different way. I already use them in my art. Maybe I can use my strong intuition and gifts to literally help people on a more distinctive level. So I said, okay, I already got offered a job at the police department, but I'm also a mother and I don't want to have to work really long shifts to be away from my children. There's got to be another way that I can be a part of doing my part as a public servant, but also showing up for my kids. And I decided, okay, then I'm going to be a PI then. And that's how we got here. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. And I can tell you right now, unofficially, I've helped lock up a lot of people. Not just in West Virginia, in Maryland, in Virginia, in Florida, in California. When I got the download about the forest fires, this is way before the forest fires actually happened, because they found children's bodies in the woods. Okay, yeah, we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. Okay? I know I'm called to do something great, and I'm going to keep being great, whether you like it or not, whether you approve it or not. You try to do so much, but I'm helping you keep your job. So make it make sense. I'm not even asking for your salary. I'm just asking for you to be fair. You're not the only one that wants to live in a safe community, especially if you have children. If you're a family person, why would you be against someone that's helping keep your family safe? Make it make sense, because it's not making sense. It's not making any sense. It's not. It's not making no sense. So, at some point, I will keep it up. You know, if the replay is available, it'll be easily accessed. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am also running this stream through my system because I plan on making a digital copy and putting it on flash drives and sending it to all the government officials that I tagged on my Twitter live stream link, because enough is enough. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. This ain't going to be the first time, and this ain't going to be the last time. Now, when I tried, before moving here, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Before moving here, I tried to have faith and trust in my local law officials and local government, right? Right up until 6 government workers got indicted for embezzlement because they were stealing child support and benefits from innocent people, none the wiser. They didn't even know they were signed up for it. 6 like supervisors, everything for DHS for the state of Mississippi got indicted. Look it up. For embezzling government funds. Then, when my apartment got broken into, mind you, single mom, 2 kids, the precinct buried my report, and then the whole entire precinct resigned when I started following up and snooping into why would they silence me getting my justice? Why aren't you arresting anyone? Why aren't you looking into this situation? The entire precinct resigned. So this is not something that's unfortunately new to me or unfamiliar for me, or for me to even believe that it would be possible that someone very powerful or prominent would have that kind of pull to manipulate or buy off people to mess with me. Absolutely believable for me. Now, this evening, I had my brother, right? Now, he's not, I won't say that he's a spiritual person, but he is Christian, right? He's more religious than spiritual. And while he isn't the biggest conspiracy theorist, he, after tonight, after seeing that someone unscrewed the lug nuts on my car, he was like, that's definitely suspicious, Delilah. You need to go to the police. Because someone is, after seeing this, I'm beginning to believe you that somebody is trying to harm you and my nephews. You need to go to the police. So we're talking about a logical person, does cybersecurity, works for a very prestigious company, very reputable person. My brother is more of the analytical mind of person, right of sound mind. There's nothing wrong with this man. Okay? Very intelligent. College graduate. Has distinction. Reliable. Trustworthy. Good husband. Great father. Great uncle to my nephews. For him to look me in my eye tonight and be like, you need to get law enforcement involved. You need to get someone involved. Because this is suspicious. There should be no reason why your tires just flying off your car when I was with you and we took it to a professional. You drove it all week, no issues. Now your lug nuts are missing. Something's not right with this situation. You need to call the police. He already knows I went to law enforcement already. I filed a report. He knows I went to the property management. He already knows that I have an ongoing file with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Okay. Because enough is enough. Now we got to start holding people accountable. We can't just keep chalking it up to karma. We can't just keep chalking it up to, oh, well, you deserve something, when we're not talking about, the realm of conspiracy. If we have physical evidence now with an intent, if we have physical evidence of tampering, when we have physical evidence of surveillance catching people doing things, we need to start holding people accountable, or they're going to lose their job for looking the other way. My name is Delilah M. Lewis, and this is Starseed Direct. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and keep going. Because that second pull got interesting here. Somebody definitely, this is money motivated. Absolutely. There's also more than one person involved. You got money, you got jealousy here. You got greed here. You got partner in crime. The leasing agent is coming out. Somebody is aggravated stalking. They had to be stalking me because I haven't been home all day. The only other place I stopped and got out of my car long enough for someone to tamper with my rims would be the gas station. And I went to the same gas station all day. Okay? If we have to get a member of law enforcement to request a copy of the security footage, we can absolutely do that. I can cross-check it with the times that I purchased on my debit card, so it'll be easier for them to find the security footage to see if anybody came by the car. Other than the surveillance that's outside my house and the gas station, those will be the only 2 times that I ever was not around my rims for someone to mess with my vehicle. Okay? Let me just say that as well. Yeah, because I'm too diligent with mine. I'm not You know what I'm saying? I'm not fitting to be having anybody play me for the bobo. Karma my ass. Okay, we went down the penal codes. If you're running the live back, we actually pulled up West Virginia law because we get surgical like that. I need people to understand that even if they paid someone to stay quiet, if they paid someone to do it, you are also implicated in the crime according to West Virginia law. Okay? Mm. And imagine that. Now, what interesting. WestVirginiaCode.gov. Mm-hmm. Article 6, Crimes Against the Peace. We referenced West Virginia Penal Code under Article 5A, 61-6-7, conspiracy to inflict injury to persons or property, infliction of injury or death in pursuance thereof, and the penalties that come with that. Mm-hmm. If two or more persons under the name of Red Men, Regulators, Vigilante Committee, or any other name with or without a name combine or conspire together for the purpose of inflicting any punishment or bodily injury upon any other person or persons for the purpose of destroying, injuring, defacing, or taking and carrying away any property, real or personal, not their own, every such person, whether he has done any act in pursuance of such combination or conspiracy or not, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Upon conviction shall be fined not less than $50, no more than $500. If any person in pursuance of such combination of, or conspiracy shall inflict any punishment or bodily injury upon another person, or shall destroy, injure, deface, or take and carry away any property, real or personal, not his own, he shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction shall be confined in the penitentiary not less than one or more, no more than 10 years, if the death of any person shall result from the commission of such offense. Every person engaged in the commission or thereof shall be guilty of murder of the first degree. And upon conviction thereof, punished as in other cases of murder of the first degree. If upon the trial of an indictment hereunder it is proved that two or more persons, the defendant being one, were present aiding and abetting in the commission of the offense charged therein, it shall be presumed that such offense was committed in pursuance of such combination or conspiracy in the absence of satisfactory proof to the contrary. All persons who were present aiding or abetting at the commission